Afternoon, everyone. Today we'll proceed with the third unit, the last second topic. The topic name it is what common approaches of data integration. Before beginning with the approaches of data integration, what was the data integration? Collection of the heterogeneous or homogeneous data and keeping in a one simple format or single format where the complexity will reduce and you will be having a common database, or we can call it as a data warehouse. So for that purpose, different approaches are involved for the data integration. There are three approaches of data integration. The first one, it is a federated database. Second one, data warehousing. And the third one, it is what memory map data structure here. So what exactly the federated database, data warehousing, memory map data structure? We always say the data warehouse is what? Collection of the heterogeneous or homogeneous different databases are stored. So that databases you have to collect and store in one common database. So let us work out for the first one, federated database. It can be stated as a category of database management system. Yeah, it is related to the completely database management system, as it will be having all the different entities or the tables along with the attributes here. So how it will work out? What exactly the federated database is? So it is the category of database management system that integrate means what? Combining multiple disparate and autonomous database systems, different databases which are available, and this what independent database systems into one single federated database. Single database, you have to collect the different databases of different format, of homogeneous format, also same format. What we have to do is that collecting and storing one single database, then we will call it as what? Federated database. Separate database are there, not tables. What we do normally, we collect the tables and we will store in the database. But here, the different database itself, you have to fetch it and you have to store in one single database. We have taken the example for the library department here. BCA department has a separate database, then BBA department has a separate database, MCOM has a separate, as well as the BCom. So they have a separate database here. No matter what kind of a format they have, but everyone has a different format. So those databases that they have to integrate together in single federated database. It can also be called as virtual database. Like we can fetch the data from this location to another location. It defines the architecture and interconnects whatever the architecture of the respective database is there. That definition will be created, and interconnects means what? That database is getting connected with other database here. The database is supporting partial sharing, not complete sharing. If I want to view the database of other department, I can view, but not completely here. And coordination among the database systems here. So just what? Collection of heterogeneous databases, it is called as a federated database, or you can call it as a FDBS. Uniform user interface is created. If we want to integrate this database here, like collecting, and after collecting, we have to store in a single database. For that, you have to collect the database from the one department. So to store that respective database from that department in our database here, one simple this what interface has been created. It is not that that department such a like MS Access is there. We have to create a MS Access file. No, BCA department has what Excel sheet is there. We have to create Excel sheet. No, what we have to do is that if I want to prepare a one single database, I have to prepare for those department when I am fetching that data. Simple format, simple interface. Okay, BBA department has what? This MS Access is there. And my view it is what I have to store in Excel sheet. So I have to create Excel sheet file for the BBA department also. I have to fetch that data and store in my Excel sheet file over. Then after that, again, I have to fetch the data from the MCOM department. I have to fetch in this what Excel sheet. Simple I have to create. I'm not going to say that MCOM department has created MS Access. I have to create MS Access. No. What they have done? No. What is our decision that we have to take, and we have to collect all those files or data and store in our common federated database here. Then uniform user interface is created for retrieving the data from the multiple non-contiguous databases here. Okay. Uh, for that purpose only simple interface has been created which can be used for all the databases. FDBS have the ability to decompose if the composition is available. If I want to make it separate, I can do that with the help of federated database system. Decompose a larger or complex query into a small subqueries here. If your database is very large, I can separate it and I can prepare a small queries which can be easily accessed or fetch the data for the future purpose. FTPS may consist of collection of heterogeneous database. It is not compulsory that homogeneous database should be there so that we can combine in one single database. No, it is not. It can have a homogeneous or it can also have the heterogeneous. So here is the example here. I have shared with you people the diagram for the federated database. So see here, this is the local application. This is being stored in the database management system language here, also local application. So this both parties are there here. So this is getting stored in the DBMS. So that will work in here. Then after that, one more database management system database is available. So like this way, this is the first database management, second, third, fourth. You will be having n number of databases are there. And that time they have to go and store in this for one single database here. What will happen, which can be accessed by other global application also. But here it was local application was there. Now, I'll give the example as a, see, no, I have said that BCA has a separate, so assume that this is the BCA department, this is the BBA, this is the MCOM department. So this they have to providing a single, this word federated database. So what happens, who will be the global application? The people who are administrative office, like that way I can say. So same way they can access the database of different branches also. Okay. Coming to the next point, what exactly data warehousing it is? What it is a process vital to the creation of robust yet manageable and highly informative data resource whose purpose is to deliver the BI solutions here. Same, you have to extract, you have to transform, you have to load here. Same, it is available for your this for data warehousing here, collecting from the different sources and storing in a one single database that we call it as this words data warehouse here for the purpose of BI solutions here. Then data integration includes the three things, three activities are there as usual: extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction specifies that acquiring the data from the different sources, you are supposed to acquire or you are supposed to fetch the data from the different sources. Then transform and clean the data. Whatever you have collected or whatever you have acquired the data from the extraction, that you have to transform and clean. What errors are there or what defects are there, that you have to clear it, and you have to transform, like ready to transform here. And the last one, it is what loading. The loading specifies that load the transfer data once you have corrected, once you have defected the data into the data store, which may be a data warehouse or data mart. Like what is the data mart? Single department, that will we will call it as a data mart. You can store in the data store or you can store directly in the data warehouse, or still if we have a confusion part or still data has to be collected or still the data has to be rectified or cleaned here, that time we can store in this what data mart here, so that again verification is done very easily, then you can come and store in the respective data warehouse. Then various concepts in the data warehouse will be like ETL, again extraction, transformation, and loading. After that, see, no, for example, I'll give you the example here. A data warehouse may contain updated information on drive in restaurant and road maps of a certain town in its table. Once you submit a query on the data warehouse, it will integrate the two restaurant location, timings, and road maps together and send the result set view back to you. Normal, if we use the GPS navigation, okay, that time what we say, we will provide our destinations, okay, from our current location to the destination location here. When we put that, whatever we wanted, and our filter choice will be on highway or going through if we have any kind of a restaurant or what. It is not only looking for whether the restaurant is available or what it is looking, it is looking for the different place where the restaurant is available. Is that restaurant is open or what? Is that road is available or what? Everything that should get integrated, then it will be displayed for you. So that time it will work out as an extraction, transformation, and loading here. Then data mart is also available. We can say it as a component based here. Different department data collection, which will store in the separate department, that you have to come and insert in this what common data warehouse. Then we have to follow the two models, dimensional models and the schemas. Dimensional models can be like a ER modeling or star model or snowflake model, and schemas means what, which is a structure of the table, and in that entity what are the attributes are available here. Then metadata driven, it is what, data of data, what still information we can find out here. So this was about here, this what data warehouse, which is very easy, collecting the different data from the different sources here and providing in common data warehouse. So here is the diagram for the data warehouse here. Sources system extraction, which will work out here. Finance department is available, marketing, demand planning, forecasting and planning. Then information management system, we can call it as the IAMS here, and redundancy data, and then logistics, sales data. What we have to do, these are the different sources are available. We have to take a help of extraction, transformation, unloading, which will go and storing operational data store, and master reference data or confirm dimension. If you are confirmed whether this data has to be transferred or loaded here, you can provide here. Again, ETL will work out. And how it will be stored, it will be having the different data marts here: product portfolio segmentation data mart, supply chain logistic data mart, finance specific data mart, business rules, goals and strategies. Finance will come this side, marketing will come this side. Yes, so these the separate data marts also will be there here. And finally, the way we want to look, the way it should be present here, it will work out with the help of presentation here. Operation report, analytics, dashboard, alerts, then scorecard, everything will be done for the presentation purpose. Okay. One more data warehouse is there. So see, these two persons are working for the single database here, and there are also two persons are working for the single data warehouse. Transaction processing system and other operational sources. So this will go in separate one common data warehouse. From this data warehouse, any other people who are sitting here, they can access any of the data very easily. This person and this person can access the data from the data market, which will be the third party. Like these two persons are collecting the data from one data warehouse, and they are creating the separate data mart, so that the users or third party people will be very easy to fetch the data, which will not take a long time to extract that data. Okay. Then what the difference between the federated data and data warehouse? Federated data will always work, or it is present across the various locations. Different locations, we can call it as a geographically decentralized. It is not at one place. Okay. If you coming to the point of the data warehouse, it is present only in one location. We can take our respective college example, where one data warehouse is present, BCA, BBA, MCOM, BCom, that will go and store in one single data warehouse. When you think about the across various locations, we have to say different branches. Belgaum, Haliyar, Hubli, these branches we can go on saying. Data, then second one, data will present in various servers. You can access from anywhere the data is there. But here, the first point itself specifies that data warehouse is working for only one location. So one server will be presented here. Then federated database always requires high-speed network connection here. Why? Different locations, different servers here. For the data warehouse, no need of the server network connection here. Just we have to use this for local area network. Federated database, which is very easy to create. You can create separate branch database here, but it is not easy to create here. If you want to create one more database, which is very difficult here. We can create data mart, but we cannot create the separate database. So again, we have to go on beginning here, whatever the data is available, that we have to insert. Then you can prepare the some new database. No creation of new database. Yeah, they have said that no new creation of new database. Why? If I want to prepare similar kind of database, I can fetch that structure and I can start inserting the different values here. But the creation of the database from the scratch is available here. Here it is required. Now currently there are 4 departments are there. New department will arise here. For that we have to go on creating the their data mart. We have to create and start inserting in the data warehouse. Then network expert, yes, for this, because network connection is required for this purpose, we need the network expert here. Okay, and what we require here, database experts here, such as data steward. Who is a data steward? Who will take care of what data has to be inserted and where that data has to be located. So these are the difference between the federated database and the data warehouse, which will be asked for the 5 marks in the examination here. The deep notes will be shared with you people. And the last type of approach for the data integration is what? Memory map data structure here. Means what? Database is available. It is in. What actually we are going to collect the data from outside. We have to store inside the database, where we will call it that it is useful when one needs to do in memory. Already data is available. We have to go in the database and search that data. That's what the reason they have said that in memory data manipulation and the data structure is larger, because uh, we don't know what kind of a structure it is, what kind of format it is. We might not know how it can be fetched here. So we are supposed to go in that data warehouse or database, search that memory map here. I think you have learned the memory mapping in your computer fundamental, like where the data is, what is the content, what is the address. The same way, you need address and you need the this food content also. It is specially used for the purpose of .NET platform and C# or using this word VB.NET. When we are working for the C# along with your database, so that time your memory map data structure will be created where address is available. And the last one, much faster way of accessing the data than using memory stream. Very, very faster here than your data warehouse or federated database here. So this was the last topic, data integration technologies here. There are different technologies are, please don't get confused between the approaches of the data integration and data integration technologies here. The approaches are, three approaches are there. Those are federated databases, data warehouse, and the last one it was memory mapped data warehouse. And now coming to the point of the technologies, what kind of a technology you have to use, what kind of a tool you are supposed to use to integrate the data here. So different technologies are available. The first one, it is what? Data interchange. Second one, object brokering. And the third one, it is what? Modeling techniques here. Inside the modeling technique, again, we have to follow our database management system, where we have to take help of entity relationship diagram. From the diagram, we are supposed to create the tables and we have to store the values here. And the last one, it is what? Dimensional modeling. Inside the dimensional modeling, we will be learning again two things which we have completed: star model and snowflake model, where we can take a help of fact table and dimension table. So let us begin here. What are data interchanges? Uh, it is a structured transmission of organizational data between two or more organizations through electronic means here. So what exactly? Let me specify here. Again, database, different databases are there, but different organizations you have to take care. They have said that structured transmission. What structure of the database is that you are supposed to transfer between two or more organizations uh, through electronic means here. Like we can transfer the data documents from one computer to another computer, or from one corporate trading partner to another partner. We can specify the example from our respective lab. If we don't have a respective this what peripheral device pen drive, what we do, we just choose the IP address local area network, Windows plus R, and we start typing the 192 IP address here. Whatever the information we want from another system, we can fetch it very easily. The same way here also, we can this what transfer the structure of the data between different organizations via electronic means, like this what transferring the data documents from one computer to another computer here. And the second one, data interchange must not be seen merely as email. No, it cannot work as an email here. Like transferring is coming, no, interchanging is coming. It is not going to work with the help of email here. Okay. And the next one, it is what object brokering. Object request broker, it is a certain variety of middleware software. One middle software is present between the different databases. Gives the freedom, like gives the programmers, whoever the programmers are there, for them it will give the freedom to call from one computer to another computer. Like authority should be there. If I want to access another system, then I have to call for the object request broker here. If I call for that, it will allow me to access the data from the different computer here. Okay, it also it gives the programmers freedom to make call from one computer to another computer over a computer network here. Calling can be done with the help of network also. So that time we have to take help of this one, object brokering or object request broker here. It handles the transformation of in process, like in process data structure to and from the byte sequence. If I want to access the data, when I'm accessing that data, that transformation will be handled by this object request broker here with the help of byte sequence, like how much of data I'm fetching from another system here. And the next one, it is what modeling techniques. In that modeling technique, two logical design techniques are there. The first one, it is called as a ER modeling, and the second one, it is called as a dimension modeling. ER modeling means what? Entity relationship modeling. It is a logical design technique whose main focus is only on redundancy of data. Like there should not be a duplication of the data here. It should have a unique values here. Okay, two times should not be repeated here. So it is usually used for the transaction capture and contribute in the initial stages of constructing a data warehouse. Especially ER modeling will be used at the beginning of the constructing of the data warehouse, when we are going to collect the data and provide in the data warehouse here. Okay. So what this reduction of the data, as they have said that main focus is to reduce the data redundancy. What actually this data redundancy is doing? It will help us to solve the problem when we are inserting the records. We will take as a primary key, no? Then if we have inserted the record at the beginning, and again second time if we are repeating the same data, what will happen? It will make us alert. Already exists. You cannot insert this data here. So this will help the problem when we are working with the data redundancy. It will solve the problem for inserting, deleting, and updating the table also here, updating the data. But only not this insertion, deletion, and updation. There are other problems also which will get created when we are working for the ER modeling also here. So what will happen? If large database is available, of course, more number of tables will be there. Then when we start writing the queries, what will happen? We have to take care of the table name. We have to find out which are the common attributes are there between the different tables here. So that time we have to take a help of this word SQL statement called as a join. So joins will be more. So it will become a more complex here. So this is one the problem of this what ER modeling. They have said that end users will find it difficult to comprehend and traverse through ER model here. If large database is available, if more number of tables are available, in the diagram also will be very difficult to put the values or to extract that data here. Okay. So, and we know very well what are the steps for drawing the ER model. If your ER models are there, if you're going to draw the ER model, what are the steps? You have to identify the you have to identify the entities, which means tables. After identifying the tables, find out the attributes or the relationship between the various entities. Then identify the key attribute, which will be the primary key, and how it will be referred in another table. Then after that, Identify other relevant attributes apart from the foreign keys and the primary keys here. Finally, what? Draw the ER diagram with the help of rhombus, square, and oval shapes here. And review that ER diagram with the business users and get their sign off here. Okay, you are supposed to finalize here. And the last one, it is what? Dimensional modeling. It is also the logical design technique where the main focus, go back. First of all, remember that ER modeling focus is what? To reduce the data redundancy should be there. Coming to the point, dimensional modeling, the main focus is what? Which is to present the data, what data you have collected, how you are going to present. You are supposed to present in this what? One specific or standard format for the end user consumption. Like you are supposed to give to the end user, no customer. That customer should be able to use your data warehouse or your database in a friendly way here. It should not be complicated. How you are going to present. In ER modeling, main focus is for redundancy of the data here. It is used for data warehouse having how it is used in the data warehouse with the help of star model or snowflake model, where we have to take a help of this what? Fact table and dimensional table. Fact table was centralized table, dimensional table was side of the fact table here. Then difference between the ER modeling and dimensional modeling here. In the ER modeling, the data is working with the help of transactions, like optimize for the transactions of the data. You'll go on inserting, go on updating, go on deleting. Dimensional modeling is what? Query ability and performance. Like you are supposed to create queries for that. Then ER modeling, it eliminates the data redundancy, duplications are there. No elimination of data as already data is available. Highly normalized, we are supposed to follow the normalization. Here this what? Aggregates most of the attributes. Common attributes will be there from the different entities, and hierarchies of dimension into single entities here. They have to support single entity here. If you are having the similar entities are there, make it in one single entity. Complex maze of hundreds of entities linked with each other. If they will be having more number of tables, so complexity will be there. No? Logical grouped set of star schema. A star schema will be created centralized fact table, which is being organized with the help of dimension tables. Useful for transactional systems like insertion, updation, deletion. Useful for analytical systems, already available data is there. Just you have to go on checking, like analytics, reports you are supposed to prepare. It is split as per the entities here, and it will split as per the dimensions and the factors. यहाँ पे क्या यूज करेगा? टेबल एंटिटी, and here we are going to use the dimensions and factors. So this was about the common approaches for the data integration and the technologies for the this for data integration. The last topic of your fourth unit is data integrity, data quality. So this I will work out after, will be recorded after this class. Till then, have a look for your this for federated database, data warehouse, and memory map here, and technologies used in the data integration. If you have any doubts, you can contact me for this. Till then, thank you. Stay safe.